Uh, okay. Any questions, observations, comments? Well, let me start about the class titles. Anything interests you? Do you think there are good classes to have at least for the next 8 weeks or so? Anyone is interested or any suggestions?
Ramin, I would have a suggestion for a class.
Okay.
So obviously there's a lot of movement in the market, during the day.
Mhm.
And it would be interesting to know how to try and play those movements. So when how do you see the market's going to move up quickly or move down quickly? So on Friday, I was doing a little things and I was successful, but I don't know how much it was luck or whether I knew what I was doing. But just how to look at sort of indicators so you can make a small little profit over 30 minutes because the market moves up or moves down. I think I'd find that really interesting.
Okay. I think one of the suggestions that I make, Martin, is I think we had a class on market internals.
Mhm.
I think that would be a good start because, that's my main screen. I watch like the ticks and I watch all the internals and I also watch 1 and 5 minutes. So because we want to, if you're going to do for 30 minutes, you want to narrow, really go down to a small time frame. So, but again, I think for me has been mainly on the market internals and 1 and 5 minutes, but I'll take that into consideration. Sure.
Thanks, Ramin.
Of course. Okay. Any other comments or questions?
Yep, Ramin, I have one thing in my mind. I don't know whether you think it's a good idea.
Sure.
I think since U.S. has its own policy to go tapering, and then the inflation driven interest rates rise, and also probably the shrink of the debt by the Fed. Comparing to other countries, frontier, emerging, and European countries, will that be opportunity for us to trade some ETF for those countries? Once we do, what factors we need to look at? For example, their currency or their other driven factors. How do we trade those ETFs? That could be an interesting topic to me.
Well, actually, thank you for bringing that up, Sean, because I forgot. I'm supposed to be a guest speaker. It's the following week, Tuesday, because that's the only day I really have available. And this is for it's a hedge fund service for the hedge fund managers, global managers. And our title is Emerging Market Currencies, Opportunity or opportunity or punishment. So if you like to, once I get the information, I will send it to you. If you'd like to attend it, most like it's a free attendance, although it's for this, the service has their hedge fund subscription. But anyway, I think that might be in the same line as you're talking about, Sean. So I will discuss emerging and frontier markets, how their currencies will be affected and how the dollar is going to play a role, and also the inflation. So hopefully we start with that. And after that, maybe we can follow up with other opportunities too. So, but that would be specifically mostly on the currency side of things.
I see. Yeah, that would be very interesting. Thank you.
Okay. Now I will keep you posted. So next, I should find out what exactly the time and what hosting, or I will get you all the information.
Yeah. And in addition to that, I'm interested in stocks, ETFs such as like Brazil related. Their currency has some big movement, but the stock looks very good for me fundamentally. But I just don't know whether I should put some money there or not. Those can be separate, related to purely currency.
Sure. Sure. No, I mean, that would be starting point, and then, we can follow up. Obviously, there's a lot of opportunities when it comes to ETFs, and there's also ETFs which actually are hedged, so you don't have exposure to the currency side of things. So, but historically, we found out that when we go back, 10, 15 years, the hedged currency hedged ETFs, they didn't do as well unhedged. So, but that's a different story. But sure, we will follow up on that conversation and love it, because I think we will see. I still believe we will see opportunities in that arena, Sean, even in the fixed income side of things. So, yeah. Any other questions? Suggestions?
Ramin, this is Hamad. I wanted to make one comment.
Please.
So last year, you gave us a session where you kind of walked us through your daily routine, and we walked us through some of your screens and the order of those screens, and why you would look at certain things first and how would you confirm certain other things through them. That might be related to the topic that you had put earlier, for intermarket relationships. For me, it seems that could be something also related to what Martin was talking about, that, how do you analyze a trade and in which order do you look for things? Maybe by taking a couple of examples, something like that, or a refresher of something like that could be pretty helpful, in my opinion.
Thank you thank you for sharing that. Yes, you're right. So we have that, and then I think again, actually understanding that as far as the indicators, those will be good. So yeah, and the refresher will be good also. So thank you. Yeah, we can do that too. So, and then also I believe I was looking at the intermarket analysis of more of the big picture, how, for instance, because we emphasize a lot about how the markets are working, why, like, for instance, the order of what I've done is like I do the equities, then I go to the interest rates, then I go to the dollar and commodities. So the whole idea is how they are related and they truly affect each other. And then how in return they go back and then affect the equities in different sectors. So I think they're all hand in hand. So that's one of the ideas I had, was for the relationship between the big asset classes. And then the internals helps me with my daily routine. I look at the internals, how, if I, like Martin said, if I want to do a quick in and out, is this a good time? If the ticks are going up and the VIX is really going up, and all of a sudden we look at the advanced decline line is coming down. I mean, something is not right in this situation. So do I want to go to this trade? If I see those, and I'm talking about, I'm looking at like a 5-minute chart and I see these things, then I see the contradictions. It's not time for me to go in with a, again, big conviction. So if I don't have that conviction, then I wait for the next opportunity. The question is, again, it's important for you to understand, you could have the setup, everything is looking good, but you need to have that confirmation. And so you want to make sure you have both. It's not just, oh, this looks good, and there's that fear of, oh, I'm going to miss out. So let's say everything is lined up, and we have the support and everything looks good, and you say, you know what, this thing is going to jump, I'm going to jump in. If you notice, that's the reason I use the candlesticks. I want to make sure I have that confirmation. Once I see that, I usually miss a few points or ticks or whatever it is, but the probability of my success has gone up much higher. So instead of getting stopped out or get a whipsaw, that gives me the conviction that, yeah, this is a good time. So you'd want to have the setup and the confirmation, and then you can go in. So, But anyway, it was just a side note, but that's what I think maybe we can do another review, and maybe the day in the life of a trader 2022, you know, it's like those 80s movies when they used to have like 7 sequels, but we'll do that. So, but I still think the intermarket relationship would be a good standalone, just from the big picture, more of economic side of things. Especially again, because we are going to be exposed to, I believe, to international investing and emerging and maybe developing, and especially if you're going to do fixed income, let's say if you have some long-term investment goals, and then sometimes on the equity side, they can move like the trading, so we can do options on them, for instance. So, anyway, good suggestion. I appreciate it. Thank you, Hamad.
Thank you, Ramin.
Of course. All right. If there's no other questions, most likely I will start with actually the gold mining this week. I think that's it's just a knowledge. At least we know nothing else. At least we understand how the gold miners work and how do they get valued. And a lot of them are really cash. Some of them are really cash rich, especially the big companies. We want to know what they're going to do with that money, regardless of what the price of gold is. So that's will be a subject. So we'll do that. Anyway, if there's no other questions, I appreciate again being with us. I wish you a wonderful, nice weekend, and I look forward to seeing you on Wednesday. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Thank
Ramin.
you.
Thanks, Ramin.
Thank you,
You're
Ramin.
welcome.
Bye.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
Ramin, thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye now.
Bye.